Right then, so next we can move on to setting up the flight management system. We've already had a look at the FMS initial page, so we have the correct position. We've verified we have the correct date and time, and the database is still valid, and the FMS version and performance database are satisfactory as well. So next we select the fuel page, and we're going to set the various fuel and weight and balance information into the flight management system using our load sheet, if you like, which is supplied to us by the Q400 control panel, of course. So the basic weight is the same as the dry operating mass, and as you can see from that we have a figure of 17898 kilograms. We have a total of 50 passengers on board. And we have a total of 800 kilos of cargo on board. That equates to a zero fuel weight of 22.9, and that agrees with our load sheet. To fill in the various fuel details, we then refer to the flight plan page. We have an alternate fuel, as we've discussed, which takes us from Jersey to Guernsey of 230 kilos. The hold function acts as the total reserve fuel, and as you can see that is a figure of 420 kilos. We've no extra fuel on board, so we can simply skip through that. And the total fuel on board, we can insert the takeoff fuel initially, which is 1691, and that gives us a takeoff weight of 24630. We're not taking any extra fuel, as we've discussed, and we can therefore insert the total fuel figure . $1,770, which gives us a gross weight of 24709. Our load sheet in the Majestic control panel gives us a figure of 24708 for the takeoff mass, so 1 kilogram difference doesn't make any difference at all, so we can say that the correct information is now inserted. So next we're going to have a look at the flight plan route and insert it into the flight management system. So selecting the flight plan page, we're going to put the departure Echo Golf Bravo Bravo. We then select menu, depart, And we have a selection of options for the departure, so we're using runway 15 as you know, so that's number 1. And we're expecting the Compton 1 Lima departure from runway 15, which is option number 3. So that's now populated. We can return back to the flight plan page, and it should have all the correct waypoints and altitude restrictions inserted into the flight plan page. We will cross-check that a little bit later on with the departure aerodrome chart. But having a look at the flight plan, we're going to continue setting the route initially. So after Compton, we select the no link function, which automatically appears after the departure is set. Once we've line selected against it, we can select list, airway, and from the flight plan route you can say after Compton we're entering the Yankee 321 airway. It's not on the page at the moment, so we select next, and there it is at the very end, number 9. So enter 9, select the enter key, and we have to select now which waypoint we're going to fly to, and it's Pepis, so we select number 2, Pepis, enter, and then the next set of waypoints appears after Compton. And we continue this for the entire flight plan route. So after Pepis we can expect the Quebec 41 airway to Southampton, so list Quebec 41 number 1 to Southampton, which is number 3. And list again. From Southampton we can expect the November 621 to Lelna, so number 2 for November 621, and then number 5 for Lelna. And at this stage we can then insert our arrival airport, which is Jersey, accept the position information. We can now delete the no link function by simply line selecting the no link and then selecting delete twice, so that disappears. And now Echo Golf Juliet Juliet, which is Jersey, is our final point on the flight plan route so far. We can now select menu, arrive. As we've discussed, we're expecting runway 08 for the arrival, so that's number 1. And after reviewing the AIP page for Jersey, I found that the routing that we're going to be taking today is actually for runway 08, the Jersey 1 X-ray arrival, rather than the Jersey 1 Whiskey, which we initially anticipated. So I'm going to select 1 X-ray, which is number 6. Transition, we can select runway 08. And today, for filming purposes, I'm going to perform the VOR DME approach, and the transition for the time being we can simply ignore. After that we go through the route to make sure there are no links. It's not actually a big deal if the no links are left in real life they often are, but for ease I'm simply going to delete them. Whether you delete them or not is simply at your discretion. And now we can review the flight plan route to make sure there are no anomalies by selecting nav on the captain's side, changing the format to the plan page, which gives us a north-up presentation of our flight plan route, and we can now use the next page to sift through the various pages of the flight plan route. So there's our initial departure routing. If you can, if we zoom in a little bit there, you can see we're going to Bravo Bravo Sierra 05 first of all, and if we cross-check that with our aerodrome chart for the runway 15 departure from Birmingham, we can see that that is correct. Then BBS 13, then 17, and then onwards to Compton. So the RNAV departure is correctly inserted, and the altitude restrictions we can see are correct as well. So 4,000 feet or above by Bravo Bravo Sierra 13, indicated by the 4,000 feet with a line under it. and the 6,000 feet restriction is by BBS 17. So that's all correctly inserted. If we zoom out a little bit then, we could continue on with the rest of the routing, and all we're doing here really is ensuring that the general shape of the routing is correct. We're not going through each individual waypoint in turn. I don't think that's particularly necessary. It would take a long time to do, but we're just checking to make sure that each point looks roughly satisfactory and we have no major anomalies in the routing, and we're going in the direction we're expected to go. So there's the arrival, it's all looking correct. Estimated departure, we were scheduled to leave at 1200 Zulu, but we've gone well beyond that because I've been chatting away. So we'll call it 1340. And that's all the various information in the FMS complete.